This is the finished product after my extraction from Brazilian pepper, and it was quite a blend down there. There was Brazilian pepper, there was just like fields of this it's called alligator weed. I don't know the scientific name, but it has these white cluster flowers on it, these long skinny little leaves, and it's in kind of marshy areas, which is kind of where I was. I was in an old orange grove that was drained, so it had basically 2 rows of oranges and then a skinny little shallow skinny drainage canal, and then 2 rows of oranges, shallow skinny drainage canal, and then a lot of the oranges were gone. Orange groves died off a while back, so trees are pretty much either dead or gone, and now it's just fields of this alligator weed and bahia. There's different kind of flowers growing around along these drainage canals that aren't alligator weed. I don't know, there's purples, yellows, you name it, just about any color flower you could imagine. But this honey is basically a mixture of Brazilian pepper. We went through that bloom, and those trees all bloomed kind of at random different times from September, I think even through December. But I got it right at the beginning of the bloom down there, which was, I think I got down there in October, maybe September. I can't remember exactly when. Maybe I dropped them off in the end of September, beginning of September. Went down there, checked on them in October, picked them up in November, like on the 25th or something like that this year. But this is the extraction, and what I'm going to do now is weigh it. So I've got here a highly accurate food grade scale that we're going to weigh these on. Each box weighs about, each bucket weighs about 2 pounds with the lid, so we'll deduct that. What I'm going to do is step on the scale to activate it. We'll put a box on it, or a bucket on it. We'll put another bucket on the top, and we'll pull them off, and we'll read what it says. And by the way, this isn't an accurate food grade scale. This is just a bathroom scale. But we're going to put 1 on here, get it started, let it go through its little thought process. 2 on there. It's done. 116.2 minus 4 pounds. That gets us at 112. So we've got about 112 pounds of delicious Brazilian pepper for the most part, alligator weed, and some other stuff. But here's what it looks like. You can see it's pretty dark, and it's got a very unique flavor to it, unlike anything you've probably tasted before. But it's really good. I'm going to do a moisture content check with it in just a minute. Let's do that right now. Just a second. I wish I could make you see this or let you see this somehow, but I don't think I can. I don't think the camera would see through the little tiny hole, but don't get me wrong, I'll give it a shot. So what this is a little kit I got on, I think, Amazon. It was 15, 20 bucks or something. It's just a handheld refractometer. I don't know if that can read that. But what it does is it checks the moisture content of or like water content of whatever substance you're putting in there. And it's at a certain scale range that tests, like stuff like this. Honey can be tested at this range. So you want, like, you drop a little bit here on this sight, I guess it's a sight glass kind of thing. Well, you'll see through here, and the light comes through here and through the eyepiece. But I just calibrated it a minute ago with this calibration oil that comes with it right here. So it should be calibrated. With honey, you're looking for like a moisture content of, say, I don't know, around 20 or so, 21, 20, down to 17. When you start getting lower than that, it starts to get grainy. Right now we're looking at just, let's see, there's 19, I don't know, 19, and let me, this thing has a kind of like binoculars. You can bring it into focus. There we go. We're at like 19.75 water content. So I'll take that. That's pretty good. Again, that's the Brazilian pepper, alligator weed, some random probably stuff that was in the hives before they got down there. So we'll just call it a wildflower for the most part. But the concentration was definitely Brazilian pepper and alligator weed. But I'm going to do, next I'll do a, next video I think I'm going to put together. I've got a bunch of different honeys. I've got some Tupelo, like I said, this random stuff. I've got some other dark stuff that's supposedly from the avocado blooms. Some of my old orange blossom, and maybe a gallberry or something like that. But I'll do a test where I show you just different water contents of the honeys, and I think I have some orange blossom that's getting kind of grainy, so it should have quite a low moisture content. But we'll do a video about that in a minute. Here's my extraction. First time I've ever been down there for the Brazilian pepper collection, and I'm really happy with what we got. I started with 6 hives. I made a split when I was down there, and I'm not quite sure if it was that one that died out or another one, but one of my hives swarmed on me and died out, or it could have been as I made that walk away, it just didn't take. And the way I found that out was coming home the other day when I pulled the hive bodies out of the back of my truck. There was just a pile of like hive moth worms in the bottom, just like all clustered up on top of each other. It's pretty gross. And you pull that hive open, and inside it's just like what you, I don't know if you've ever seen a dead out, but I'll show you a video of it in a second. It's just like web all woven in there, look like spider web, but it's from these worms weaving their webs, and all the frames are kind of stuck together with this web, and the wax is all chewed out. Basically, it's a complete loss. There was a little tiny cluster of bees holding on in there when I took them home, but there was no queen. I looked for a queen. There's no queen, so it's a complete loss. But it started with 6 hives. Started with 6, made that split, ended up with 6. They're now in the orange groves, waiting for orange blossom, which will start in February. So we've got December, January, and middle of February. So we've got 2.5 months before that happens. Might have to get down there to feed them between now and then just a little bit, and hoping for a good orange harvest this year with 6 hives. Last year I had 4 hives, and I walked away with about 96 pounds of orange blossom, and that's virtually unadulterated. There's really not much going on out there aside from the orange blossom at that time. So 96 pounds of that was just like really like almost a clear, kind of yellowish clear honey, really delicious. But 96 pounds I got out of basically just 3 hives. One was pretty much just a real weak hive, didn't give me anything the whole year. Another hive I had down there kind of did a good job, but then swarmed on me. So all it had when I got down there to collect it was, you know, the leftover larva that was hatching out to take care of what was above. So it wasn't robbed out. So I had that going for me. But basically I really only got a pull from 2 hives, 2 good hives. So if I can maintain 6 healthy hives this summer, or this early winter, then I mean I could see 200 pounds of that orange blossom. So fingers crossed we get a good pull this year. With an idea to test the refractometer and put it up to the little eyepiece or whatever it's called, the lens on the camera. So we're going to test this honey out. This is the Brazilian pepper I collected this year, and show you what it comes out to. So see how it smashes in there, covers that little blue eye or sight glass thing. Let me see if I can find the camera lens. There we are. You see the blue line up at the top. It's just above the 20. So we're at like 19.75, 19.8, something around there. But this is the water content, moisture content of the Brazilian pepper honey I just collected this year. So I'm pretty happy with that. Right under 20. It's got, you know, quite a bit to go before it starts to crystallize. So it's really similar in content to the stuff I collected in my backyard the first time I ever collected honey. That had a pretty high moisture content. I think it was just above 20, and that was 3 years ago, roughly 2 or 3 years ago, and it's still nowhere near crystallization. But I'm going to do the same thing on a few other honeys, maybe a store-bought or 2, and then some other honeys I've collected myself, and then some I've purchased at local farmers markets. Just show you the different range, show you how this refractometer works.